Hi, welcome back to the interview session we are doing here at the Quest International University. And right now with us is Dr. Vila, who have written the paper Human United, which is part of the book The Mind of the World Philosophy Day 2019, sponsored by the Malaysian branch of the World Philosophical Forum. Doctor, thank you.
Pleased to meet you.
For joining us here.
Thank you.
I read your paper, really enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Really much. But I have to say, I got a little confused about the title. Why the title Man United?
Yeah, well, it's a play of words. You know football, right? Man United. Yeah, everyone is so concerned or united because of football.
Okay.
What I tried to do was to show that humanity can also be united, and that is through science. But I broke the word up, human, to also show that when we break down everything down to the smallest of molecules, we are all the same. So we are all united, even when we break our atoms and all the various components within our body. When we break it down, we are all the same. So we can be united through humanity, through science. That is basically the title, what it means. Yeah.
Great. So, Doctor, you are Dean in the Faculty of Science and Technology and Director in the Center for Research and Innovation. That's quite interesting. We can say that it relies on your shoulder to keep pace with innovation, right?
Yes.
So, nowadays, I believe blockchain technology is about to change everything we know, like internet did 20 years ago. Have you been adapted this new technology and the approaches it has in your faculty?
Yeah, we have one of the schools in our faculty is the School of Computing Science, and blockchain is all part of the curriculum, and we also teach the latest what blockchain can do for us, what blockchain can authenticate all our data. So all these new technologies are being embedded in the curriculum for students, and also we adopt these technologies to give authenticity to students' credentials. See, when the student graduates, they get a scroll to say that they have completed a 3-year course or a 4-year course, and they have graduated with a certain class of honors. So, but a lot of people out there can falsify these documents. But when we add blockchain technology to these documents, nobody can go in and falsify them or change them. So every student that leaves the university will have this kind of certificate, so that when they go out and apply for jobs, the employers know that whatever that is in that certificate is true and not false. Yeah.
You know that I believe that Descartes, once he published the scientific method, which really had another name, science and philosophy got separated. Science became tidy, methodic, to get to the truth, what we were talking about a few minutes ago. So the science, what can do is to find the truth in a specific part of reality. That's why we have the scientific laws in chemistry, we have scientific laws in physics. All of the fields have discovered specific scientific laws. Nevertheless, all of these laws also are attached to universal laws. That is something that is not taught nowadays. But the World Philosophical Forum have new tools through a philosophical method to finally come up with a solution and to integrate all science and all the knowledge we have into universal principles and laws. So what do you think about this, you being the dean of the Faculty of Science, for example? I would like to hear, what can you say when I say you this, when I tell you this?
I'm not sure whether I got your question, but what I want to say is that there's a lot of philosophy in science itself. The philosophy of science. When I did science 40, 50 years ago, when I studied science in the university, we were all taught philosophy of science, which expounds the basic values that all the philosophers of the ancient times talked about and wrote about, is that we need to seek the truth. But underlying this truth will be also the values that we have to put in to make sure that whatever that we discover through science is based on true, structured, ordered, robust science, and all this will then only be beneficial to mankind. So what I'm trying to say is, behind all this science of today, people tend to forget the philosophy behind it. But we in the faculty as well, we ensure that when students take up these subjects, they are all to, it's just not just crunching numbers, not making sure that the experiment succeeds, but also to make sure that whatever they do will have ethics behind it, and they do things for mankind, for the beneficial use of man. Because if you do not have that, science can go wrong. It can go very, very wrong. And in my field of expertise, like biotechnology, I think it's one of the very few sciences that is governed by an international law. So we make sure that whatever that we do using the powerful biotechnological tools is safe for animal, safe for the environment, and safe for humankind, so that we make sure that nothing goes wrong. Because science has become so powerful that it falls in the wrong hands, it can disrupt the universal balance. So in order to do that, we also teach students bioethics. That means the ethics behind science, why they do these things and why they should not do things that can put mankind or lives of people even within the lab or within outside the university in jeopardy. So we need to inculcate all these things. And I think previously someone had mentioned the Sustainable Development Goals. These are all to also make sure that science is embedded in our everyday lives, but done in a sustainable way. So with sustainability comes also the values of and philosophy of ethics and doing things properly. So basically that's what my faculty is all about. Though we do science, we practice and we adopt technologies, but we make sure that it is done in a very proper, structured manner.
And I really agree with you on this, because nowadays we see a smart person, or a smart person is someone to come up with a solution, even though that solution can destroy nature. So, and that is not the idea. The idea to develop new knowledge, to develop new technologies, is also to be addressed in a way that can help to preserve all the levels of organization, either individual, societies, the nature as a whole. And I really appreciate your understanding of this as a dean of the faculty, because it is needed for the students that will shape the world in science and technology. Well, thank you very much.
Oh, thank you.
And I invite you all to read the paper of Dr. Villa, which is within the book The Mind of the World Philosophy Day 2019. Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you.
And thank you all for being here with us.